So before exporting, I want this to work with two materials. I want this to have two materials, and I want to do that in the easiest way possible. So I'm going to select the material tab, click twice the plus sign so that I can create two new materials. I'm going to rename this one wood, and I'm going to rename this one, what can I, oh yeah, click new, rename it, I don't know, site. And now that I have this, I want to click the base color, just change it to something that looks like wood, some kind of brown, I suppose. Now inside the viewport, click tab so that we get the edit mode. Click on one of the faces. Remember, you can press the 1 for the vertices, 2 for the edges, and 3 for the faces. Control L. Oh shoot! Just hit Control L, and you're gonna select all these faces over here. And I want all these faces that I have selected to be wood-like. So I'm gonna click Assign, and there we go. We get some kind of yellow. I'm gonna show you how to actually put the material inside the engine, so we don't have to cook it in Blender. I just think it's easier that way. Now for the rest, I just want to click those other faces like this. Make sure these ones are not selected. There we go. And I want them to be the other thing. I'm gonna click Assign, and they're gonna look white. It really doesn't matter what color we pick right now. It's just like a quick visualization of what it could look like. And there we go. It looks like this. Yeah, I think this is gonna be pretty neat. Then again, this is not how it's gonna look on the final thing. If you set it up the same way I did, then you're gonna be able to export it by just pressing Alt+ and save it somewhere you're gonna remember. I get it in this address. Give it a name, and before exporting it, select Ue4. Remember, we did this in the setup video. And now click export. Now in the engine, you're gonna wanna bring wherever you save that file. I'm gonna put this to the side for a moment. In the engine, I want to go to custom maps, test map, my map, and in here I already made a folder for meshes, so I'm gonna put it there. And I'm gonna grab my kicker file, the FBX file, and just drop it in here. In our case, we did not make custom collisions for it. If you want me to show that, I'll do that in a different video. But for this one, I just wanted to auto-generate the collision for me. I do not want to create new materials, so I'm gonna click Do Not Create, and I don't want to import textures. I don't even have textures on this one. And I'm gonna select Import. Double click on it to open it up, and you're gonna find out that by default it's not gonna be using its complex collision. Therefore, if you were to use it just like this is how it's gonna collide with the player, and that's not what we want. We want it to collide using complex collision like this. For that, we want to go on this right side of the screen, scroll down a little bit, and under collision, we want to change collision complexity to use complex collision as simple. This is not the most efficient way to do it, but you know, this one is not, this mesh is not too complex, so that it would make a huge problem. If you really have a really complex mesh, like let's say a cylindrical rail, that's gonna cause issues when grinding. So yeah, then you would want to set up its own custom collision, which I can show you later in a different video. So we're gonna save this, put it to the side, and this is our map right here. We can just select our kicker and drop it in. You can see that it doesn't have any textures right now. That's fine. I'm gonna show you how to do that in the next video. One thing that I forgot to mention with the pre-computed lighting method, remember here in Word settings, if we click force not pre-computed lighting, if you have that check that on, like the same way I do, then all the lighting in the scene is gonna be dynamic. What that means is that our light source, our default light source, needs to be movable for it to work, and also really all kinds of light sources are gonna need to be movable, and we're gonna change that, and then come here where it says build, click the drop down and say click on build lighting only, and now that's gonna get rid of some of the bugs that maybe you might have noticed were there